Hello, we are the Unique Oracles, team number 45192. Here is a summary of our robot game planning and execution. For our mission strategy, we split the board into zones because we wanted an easy way to distinguish which missions would go into which run. We ended up splitting some zones into separate runs anyway though, because some missions couldn't work together and needed different alignments or attachments. Also, we started working in pairs, so we thought it would be perfect if each pair could have a focused set of missions to work on rather than working on things all over the place. We wanted to keep things organized, and zones helped us do that. We added a lot more to our missions after moving on from the qualifiers. Moving on from that, there's a basis on which we looked at for prioritizing things. The missions we prioritized were tire flip, bench, precision points, both botchas, robot dance, step counter, and more. We prioritized different categories and sorted each mission into different buckets. There will be more on this in the next slide, but here's an excerpt of a few categories: points, time estimate, and more. We also prioritized certain things for the robot. We focused on making a rather compact robot, while others might focus on other things. We had some wrong perspectives about the missions in the beginning of the season, but this is some of the rough work. Now on to Vedika, who will talk about our robot design.
On our second round, we added more rectangular frames and an extra secure latch for better stability and support. We used large wheels for better traction, and we have 4 motors. 2 of them are large motors used for wheels. The other 2 are medium motors used for attachments. One of our medium motors is in the front of the robot and the other is on the side of the robot. We have them in different spots so the attachments can be in various places. We have one sensor, which is the gyro sensor. We placed our gyro sensor in between our large motors because we wanted to keep our robot compact and thought that was the most efficient place to put it. We had to do a lot of things in order to keep our robot compact, balanced, smooth, and fast. Designing took the longest because we had many ideas. Our final ideas were to use a rectangular frame, use front and side attachments, add security latches, place the brick in the center, and add extra weight for stability. Now on to Disha to talk about attachments.
We have many different attachments for our robot. Our biggest attachment, the lifter, is a front attachment using the medium motor. It uses the racking gear mechanism. We use it for basketball and double bocce. We also built the dropper, a side attachment that uses the medium motor. It drops the cubes in certain places using the crank mechanism. We use it for bocce. Our third attachment uses the medium motor to flip the blue tire. We built this attachment recently after we qualified so that we could attempt more missions and gain more points. We also have 3 other passive attachments. They are all front attachments. The first one is used for slide, the second one is used for innovation and bench, and the third one is used for step counter. All of our attachments are removable and easy to slip on and off. For all the front attachments, we fit the medium motor inside a square frame, then use more square frames to build a hook on the actual attachment so that it can slip onto the medium motor. There are also axle pegs and latches for the attachment to grip onto the robot and so that it doesn't fall off while the missions are running. Now moving on to Kongsha, who will talk about our codes and programs.
In our programs, we built 2 my blocks called 80 turn and 80 back turn. The my blocks help the robot turn. They use the gyro sensor to measure the amount the robot is turning and confirm it. The 80 turn is for turning the wheels front, and the 80 back turn is for turning the wheels backwards. Our programs are very long, so we used my blocks to make reusable blocks. We commented our programs to make them easier to understand. We have a total of 6 programs based on all the zones. At the start of each program, we have a wait block for 1 second to make sure the robot doesn't jerk. We also used loops for repeated movement. We made changes to existing programs to try to get more points and tweak the block parameters to improve accuracy. Now Akshay will talk about tests and improvements. Our test strategy focused on completing the missions, first with time and accuracy improvements at a later stage. Initially, we tested block by block, then we tested programs end to end. The reason we had to rebuild our base bot several times is because they kept veering right and didn't move accurately. Similarly, we tweaked attachment to complete the missions precisely. The reason we had to rebuild multiple attachments is because they were hard to put on, wasting time, or they just didn't work properly. In the end, we ran all programs back to back to ensure transitions are quick and seamless while making small changes to the code. With all the testing and changes, we ended up with 330 points total, utilizing all the time given to us. After our qualifiers, we set a new goal of 410 points. We decided to improve existing missions to get more points and added an extra mission. We also had to improve some attachments. The attachments we had to improve were the lifter, the crank, the pusher, and etc.